So now we will cover the concept of KNN, basically K nearest neighbor. So in this case, we will try to understand both type of problem solving, not only regression but also the classification type of problem. So here in this approach, actually what is the concept? We will try to find out the top nearest neighbor of a unknown instance, and then based on that we will try to predict the value or class or particular value. Now let's say if I just create a plot. So basically we are trying to understand what is the concept. So let's say I am just using two features to plot this, feature 1 and feature 2. Maybe this feature 1 is age, maybe this feature is kind of your weight or BMI, and then you are trying to predict first whether you are obese or not. So definitely from the BMI itself you can just definitely you can just predict. So better we can take the height of it. Okay, and this in place of age I'm just putting weight. Okay, now let's say if I just got some point based on these two features, here's some point, here's some point, and here some of the values. Now when a unknown point will appear on it, so let's send this. So what it will try to find out, it will first try to identify who are the nearest point. Let's say this one is the nearest point, this one is the nearest point, and maybe this one is the nearest point. So if I consider three nearest neighbor, so it will try to identify the top 3 level. If I try to implement 5 nearest neighbor, then definitely this and this will be the nearest 5 neighbors. Now how based on this they actually decide what to do. Now in case of regression, what we try to do, we at first try to find out what is the value of these points. Let's say I am just trying to find out my BMI value. Maybe here is the BMI value is more 30, here maybe 29, here maybe 20, 21, 31. So in case of regression type of problem, it will simply try to take the mean of these values. So mean, the predicted value will be 30 plus 20 plus 21 plus 31 plus 29 divided by 5 cases. So 5. So this will be the case of regression. Now let's say I am just trying to implement a classification type problem, same problem. So in place of BMI, let's say the values are putting this in this way, this 1 or 0. So maybe here is 1, here is 1, here is 0, here is 0, here is again 0. So what it try to find out, it will just try to find out the mode of the data. So in that case you will find that mode means the particular term is appearing more. So 0 is appearing more. So basically here I am just clearly applying a vote of kind of concept. So 0 got more vote than 1, then definitely this value is 0. So this is the kind of a prediction in case of classification. So let me just clearly define. So this is the regression, and in case of classification, mode of this sequence, that is 1 comma 1 comma 0 0 0. So that is 0. Okay. Mode of yes. So this is the basic concept of KNN based prediction. Now you can increase to 6, 7, 8. So now the thing is that in case of classification type of problem, you always select odd number of neighbors. So why? Let's say if you are selecting 4 neighbors, maybe it happens that 2 is 1 and another 2 cases are 0. So there is a decision ambiguity, means you cannot select which means either 0 or 1. So in case of classification, this number should be always odd. Now definitely the another question is the how to actually calculate the distance between the point. So in that case we use basically Euclidean type of concept, Euclidean distance calculation concept. So if I just write the expression of that, so basically if I have 2 points, let's say here only feature 1 and feature 2, some value, let's say if I just weight is 90 and height is 5 feet, and another point weight is 60, the height is 6. So in that case the let's say Euclidean distance will be square root 90 minus 60 square plus 5 minus 6 square. So basically you have 30 square plus 1 square. So you can consider as this will be 900, this is 901. So you can easily calculate the distance between 2 points. Now if you have a let's say 100 data points in the training data set, so definitely for that particular instance for which you are trying to predict either maybe it is continuous value or maybe it is a big related to regression problem and categorical value for a classification problem. In that case you first try to calculate the distance between 2 points, let's say this point and this point, again this point to this point, this point to this point, and all other points, and just rank them. So if you need a top 3, so definitely top 3 you select. If you need top 5, so select top 5, and based on as per your application, whether you are going for a regression, you just take a mean of these values, or if you are trying to implement or solve a classification problem, you just take the mode of this top 5 or top 3 decision values, and based on that only you can easily predict the particular instance or output of the variable or output of the case. Maybe it is in case of a regression model, maybe the predicted value, or maybe in case of a classification problem, the predicted class. Hope you understood the basic concept of the KNN based prediction. So in the next topic we will just understand how decision tree works. Thank you.